Finally, Elon Musk is doubling down on Tesla. Now, 3, 4, or even 5 months ago, it made it seem like he wasn't doubling down because of his vote and all that kind of stuff and a lot of that uncertainty. But now, since we got the vote is out, confidence for him is really high. He is doubling down. Now, regardless if the vote was a yes or no, he would have been doubling down anyways. But now, things are happening and pretty darn quick. FSD version 12.5.13 is already rolling out. Insane, because I think a week ago 12.1.5.1 was being rolled out, which is insane. This thing is improving and updating more frequently than ever. And that is so bullish. I mean, the reason why I'm going all in, I keep saying this, is because of the full self-driving robotaxi. Seeing updates like this happen and very frequent is extremely bullish for me. Elon Musk ain't playing around anymore, man. He ain't playing around. Whole Mars is wondering when will Hardware 3 or AI 3 Tesla customers will get the latest FSD version. And Elon Musk replies and says team is working on it. This will be a different release number. So last time he said about 10 days. It's been 10 days, hasn't happened yet. But I'm still waiting, or just still seeing when this will happen, because there's a lot of Hardware 3 customers out there. I mean, anything prior to, I think, 2024, or even later than that, actually do have Hardware 3. So if they can push this to Hardware 3 customer, that's going to be extremely bullish, because now a lot more customers are going to have it and they can try it, and it's going to be a good butterfly effect and a good free advertisement, because they're going to show their friends, their family, oh, look how cool this thing is. So we're waiting for that. And that's what when I will be able to witness the full self-driving, how it's going to be. So I'm very excited for that, waiting for the guy that I'm waiting for to get his 12.5.3, whatever it is. It's 12.5. It doesn't have to be the latest version, but 12.5, so I can try it out, because I never tried full self-driving, even though I have a Tesla. The rented Tesla for the 30 days, it only has autopilot, doesn't have full self-driving. So I'm really excited to see how this will be, and I'm waiting for that. And talking about Elon doubling down on Tesla, we get this 3-year bundle, which is extremely a sheesh moment. Check the bundle out. It's a 3-year bundle with FSD supervised, free supercharging, and premium connectivity. Tesla is really trying to get people to get FSD, but a time will come when everyone will want it, and the price would never be this low. Guys, $5,000 for FSD for 3 years. That's crazy. That's literally $4.56 or 57 cents a day, including supercharging, FSD, and premium connectivity. That's cheaper than a freaking... When you put that together, that's cheaper than getting a monthly gas for your car. That's like what? Monthly gas, $300, $400 a month? This comes down to not even $140 a month, and you're getting full self-driving, premium connectivity, and supercharging. Oh my God. What a value. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Tesla and Elon, they're trying to get people to use FSD as much as possible. But what's the point when Hardware 3 doesn't have the latest version, right? So they gotta fix this imbalancement. Otherwise, this is a flippin' awesome deal. James Stevenson posts this chart, Tesla cumulative revenue since founding, and just look at that. Talk about compounding, man. That's insane. He writes here, Tesla has broken their all-time quarterly revenue record 25 times over the past 10 years, including the most recent quarter and twice last year. Just look at that chart. It's going crazy. And Elon replies back to this and says, long-term, it will get super nutty. And he's talking about, obviously, the robotaxi and the FSDs, but mainly the Optimus. And this is what he had to say in the latest interview with Lex Friedman. And he's been saying this forever now, but when you listen to him, it makes sense. Just check it out.
Global capacity for vehicles is about 100 million a year. It could be higher. It's just that the demand is on the order of 100 million a year. And then there's roughly 2 billion vehicles that are in use in some way, which makes sense. Like the life of a vehicle is about 20 years. So at steady state, you can have 100 million vehicles produced a year with a 2 billion vehicle fleet, roughly. Now for humanoid robots, the utility is much greater. My guess is humanoid robots are more like at a billion plus per year.
He says car manufacturers can manufacture 100 million vehicles globally, and there's about 2 billion vehicles on the road because each vehicle takes about 20 years. Their lifespan is about 20 years. But for the bots, he's predicting around $1 billion a year, because it's much easier to produce. There's going to be much more use for them, because for cars, they're only useful on the road, but for bots, you can use them anywhere, right? It could be a home, it could be a factory, it could be anywhere you would want them to be. So obviously the manufacturing and the usefulness of these bots are going to be a whole lot higher. He's saying $1 billion a year. And again, if Tesla can get 10% of that, which is 100 million a year, and they sell for 20,000, and I don't think they're going to sell it for 20,000. I think it is going to be at least one way or the other, because there's going to be a lot of other companies who buy it for 20,000. Then they're going to give it to another company or to a customer for a whole lot more. It's going to be taken advantage of, and I don't think Tesla wants that. But nonetheless, simple maths, 20,000 times 100 million, that's about 2 trillion in revenue. And if you want to say half of that is operating margin, $1 trillion in profits. It's nutty, as Elon said. It's absolutely nutty. And he said in 2026 is when mass production of bots is going to start. And I was asking you guys on X, if you guys aren't following me on X, I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys were saying 100,000 in 2026. And I'm just like, well, I'm not too sure. But then when we look at how fast they're ramping the Cybertruck, and Cybertruck is a very complex truck to produce compared to a bot, does not look impossible. That number doesn't look too high. It looks realistic. So that's a sheesh moment. That is an absolute sheesh moment. And yes, if these numbers become true, then this thing will get super flippin' nutty. And I don't even think 10 trillion is even the right valuation for Tesla at that point. It could be even a whole lot more. Elon says 30 trillion. And Cern Basher says more than 200 trillion, but I don't know. That's a sheesh moment, and I can't comprehend right now. Berkshire Hathaway, or as we all know, Warren Buffett, sold 50% of Apple stake, which is, wow. I mean, he's a big investor in Apple. I mean, more than 50% of his entire portfolio is in Apple, and then he sells 50% of that. That is crazy. That tells me that he doesn't see the future growth of Apple anymore. Thing is with companies nowadays that if you're not innovative and if you don't take risks, you will get disrupted one way or the other. Which is why I'm comfortable investing in Tesla, because they're just innovating, taking risks, investing money where it needs to be invested in, and just doing it. And for that, they are ahead of everything in cars and AI. I mean, no one has real world AI like how Tesla does. Then you got the data collection, which again, no one has as much data as Tesla does. Then you got the bots, which the bots, the way how other companies are copying Tesla and Optimus is absolutely crazy, which tells you that they're a leader in it. Then you got the supercharging network, which they have the most in the world. I mean, it's just when you look at this company, they're ahead in everything. And that's what you need to be if you want to be growing in the long term, if you want to be, the top. At the moment, Apple, they're not doing any innovation. They've been trying to work for an EV for 10 years and they said, screw it. And they spent tens of billions of dollars on it. The vision, the iVision, whatever it was for Apple, that thing was a flop. No one's talking about it anymore. So when you look at the company, just like this thing is only good because they have the services and everyone needs to use the services and the phone because they're kind of like a monopoly in a way. But even monopolies, if they don't innovate and reinvest and continue to take risks, they will get disrupted one day. And I think he sees this. I think, Warren Buffett sees this, and Elon replies to this comment, to this post, saying that he is clearly expecting a correction of some kind, or otherwise simply cannot see better investments than treasury bills. The Fed needs to drop rates. They have been foolish not to have done so already. And again, it goes back to interest rates. We've been saying this for the past 6 months, that the Fed needs to bring down interest rates. If they don't, we're going to see, inflation is coming down to 3%. We're seeing other countries reduce interest rates. But the Fed, the main Fed, the US Fed, they're the main one. If they bring down interest rates, the whole world will bring down interest rates because they're the leader in financials and all that kind of stuff. But if they don't do it soon, and I'm talking about in the next month or so, and I think even sooner the better, we are already in deflationary. Canada right now, we brought down 2 interest rates already, like 0.5%, right? A quarter and a quarter. And we're still garbage. It's still living in it's bad. It's still bad out here. And now the US is now slowly seeing these numbers. Unemployment is rising. We see the recession coming slowly. So they really need to slowly cut rates. Not slowly. If they should cut rates, they should do it a little more aggressively, because this thing compounds. Because if they can't catch this, then they have to cut down interest rates drastically, and that will be in a recession. That won't be good for anyone. It will be good for guys who have cash, who can buy more investments, who can buy more Tesla stock when it just corrects down because there's a recession, not because of the company. Will be a good time for then, but in overall economy, it's not going to be a good time. So Elon's right. And I've been saying here that the second half of 2024, they're going to be cutting rates. The Fed will be cutting rates. At least one, maximum two, because I do think there is a soft landing coming. But these things, inflation, these unemployments, they happen fast if they go wrong. And if that happens, we can see interest rates going back down to around 2-3% if things go bad. But I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. I think there is a soft landing, and I'm expecting 1 to 2 interest rate cuts by end of this year. But overall, it's nice to see that Elon is doubling down on Tesla, and it looks like, I've always said that 2025 is going to be an awesome year for Tesla, and then as we go on in the years, it's going to get better and better and better, in my humble opinion. Now, here's how Tesla can 100x, not will, but can, right? If they unlock it. Some are saying more than 200x. It's crazy. Elon is saying from now till, he's saying a 30 trillion market cap for Tesla, which is, more than a 30x. But I can see it going over 100x if they do this correctly. And others are saying it can be over 200x, 250x. It's crazy. As Elon said, these numbers are going to get super nutty. And check it out. It's going to be insane. Guys, subscribe. Get your About the Dip t-shirt if you guys haven't. Use RIP Shorts to get 10% off the discount code. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.